Back in our PCM career mode for a very important race. In today's episode, we're starting our first Grand Tour of the season, the 2027 Giro d'Italia. Starting off in Budapest, so the 2022 version of the race, with the likes of Mount Etna on day 4, Blockhouse on stage 9, the mythical Mortirolo on stage 16, and the very steep Passo Fedaia on stage 20, the last mountain stage. But the start list of this race is not a joke, with Jonas Vingegaard as the overwhelming favorite for Visma Lease Bike, and both Isaac Del Toro and Joao Almeida coming for UAE. And also multiple top sprinters like Jonathan Milan and Tim Merlier for Soudal Quickstep. I must confess, I am chuckling in danger. That said, our team rocks up with a pretty solid team, led by Lorenzo Finn as our GC rider. 76 mountain, 79 medium mountain, but only 69 time trial. And Matthias Kopetzky is here as our sprinter with 74 sprint stat. Anyway, stage 1 is a punchy finish in Hungary with Jonas Vingegaard as the favorite, but it could be a versatile sprint. Okay, the race has begun. Lorenzo Finn with a +1 on the day, so 80 hill stat, but Kopetzky with a 0 day, so 75 hill stat. Not the craziest finish, so I still believe in Kopetzky. Quite a meager breakaway for this first stage. 2 riders, Hugelhuis and Papon, but I want to talk about my goals with my riders in this race. With Lorenzo Finn, our GC rider, I'd like to top 10 this Giro and win a stage. And of course with this man, Matthias Kopetzky, I also want to win a stage, so top 10 in GC and 2 stage wins. That is my goal for this Giro. Anyway, in the last 17 kilometers, and my sprint train is on the rails with Kopetzky in second last wheel, I've got Finn in the wheel of Kopetzky because I think I'll just sprint with both. The climb is about to begin, my team is in perfect position. Edson can take over on 95 on the climby segment here, which he's not exactly the perfect rider for that, but it's not too steep yet. Now the steepness is here, 3.5 kilometers to go. Perikas can take over on 95 is too much. Kopetzky is suffering, let's do 90. I think that's okay. 2.5 kilometers to go, keep going. 99 now, come on Perikas. Serrano in the wheel is ready to launch the lead out right now at 1.4. Kopetzky is suffering in the wheel though. That's not great, but Finn looks fantastic. Finn looks absolutely fantastic. What is happening? This is extreme difficulty. Harder than extreme difficulty. Lorenzo Finn wins in Visegrad, the first stage of the Giro. I gotta say, I did not see that coming. Look at our man on the podium after stage 1 of this Giro, taking 6 seconds on the road plus 10 bonus seconds. And of course, in the Maglia Rosa. Look at it. How beautiful. So yeah, when I said earlier that I wanted to win a stage in this Giro with Lorenzo Finn, I didn't really anticipate it being this stage, but I want to win another one with Finn. And actually, I just realized the Giro d'Italia is a sponsor objective and we had to win a stage, so after a single stage, this objective is done. That said, I don't believe we'll be in the Maglia Rosa very long because stage 2 is a time trial. Filippo Ganna is the favorite, and of course Lorenzo Finn is not a great time trialist, so this is damage control. There we go, Lorenzo Finn is about to start his time trial on 85-86 actually, because it's a very short time trial and it's gonna be difficult to spend all our red bar on this if we don't do 86. Into the first time check and we finish on 56 seconds so far, so this is not looking good. Increasing my effort on the final uphill, but I was hoping to stay within 1 minute and that's definitely not gonna work looking at the time so far. There comes the finish and Finn is finishing on 1 minute and 7, so not as bad as I expected after that first time check. But hey, the winner is Filippo Ganna. Not exactly a shocker, but we do lose our pink jersey after the stage to Magnus Sheffield. Lorenzo Finn is now 22nd on about 55 seconds, so not a complete disaster. Anyway, next up is a flat sprint stage in Balaton-Füred, the final stage in Hungary with Jonathan Milan as the favorite. If I get anywhere near a top 5 in this stage with Matthias Kopetzky, I think I'll be happy. Looks like we do have a +1 on Kopetzky, so 76 sprint stat on the day. I think we can work with that. As expected, it's a pretty calm stage, so I do want to go for a bit of a rant. I'm recording this video at the same time as the Alula Tour, and the only legal way to watch it in the UK is through Discovery Plus for £32 per month. And if £370 is not crazy enough, you gotta watch ads every 15 minutes on that streaming service. What the f***? And right now, this is just the case in the UK, but it's coming to every single European country as well, because at the end of the day, this is all a consequence of company taking over other company, Warner Bros, Discovery, Eurosport, and making one streaming service with all these sports, and instead of just paying for cycling, we're basically paying for sports we're not even watching. Like, I'm sorry, but £32 per month? I get it that some people choose to watch pirated streams of cycling instead. Anyway, sorry for the rant, back to the game. The last 12 kilometers do seem pretty straightforward, forward. Our team is trying to worm their way to the front in a sprint train formation, but we're kind of blocked in for now. And I'm really struggling to get to the front. In the last 10k now, only Perikas at the front of the peloton. The rest of my team is in Narnia. 5 kilometers to go, and we are so far behind. Serrano needs to move up. Perikas out of the way. Come on, team. Darder is looking a little bit better now. We're looking better. Last 4 kilometers, we are moving up. There we go. Perfect timing. 2.3 kilometers to go. Darder launches Erzen in the wheel. We're going way too early, but I'm gonna go anyway. Just YOLO it. We've got a massive gap. Let's try and keep it. There goes Kopecky in the final stretch. Koi is gonna beat us. Everybody's gonna beat us because we launched from all the way at the start line. Finishing in the top 20, but such a disaster. The winner of the stage is Temerlier, and we finish 18th, 19th, and 20th, so that's not good. Anyway, hopefully we do a little bit better on stage 4, a mountain finish to Etna, with of course Jonas Vingegaard as the favorite. But I think our goal is simple, try and finish as close as possible with Finn. I was hoping for a good day on Lorenzo Finn, and that is what we get. We got a +1 on the day, so 78 mountain stat. Like in real life, Etna is basically a group sprint, but in Pro Cycling Manager, it looks a bit harder. Wait a second, what is happening? 21 riders off the front, including the pink jersey. I don't like that, so Darder and Erzen can pace in the peloton behind. What is happening? Looks like Almeida is also panicking because UAE is pacing as well. Gap is now a minute, so they're not exactly sitting still in this second peloton group, or at least the first peloton behind the breakaway. And the first peloton with Vingegaard and Del Toro and Sheffield is catching up with the breakaway, which was also 27 riders, so now they're sitting up because new attacks are coming. What a weird race, and that will cause us to be able to catch the Vingegaard group pretty soon, I hope. Come on, Darder. But there we go, that group has been caught with Vingegaard and Del Toro, and a new breakaway has been formed of just 6 riders up the road, so calm down. In the last 40 kilometers now, and nothing really happened after the early drama, but I'm noticing that the official climb starts with 22 kilometers to go, but there's like 15k of gradual climbing before that, so this is gonna be a painfully long climb. I'm definitely not in a perfect position with Lorenzo Finn, but I can't afford to go harder at this point because I want to save my energy for the actual climb. We're now on the actual climb, 21.6 kilometers at 6.5%, and the peloton is not going too slow. 87 riders in here with my train looking pretty okay, but Finn's energy already past the halfway point of his yellow. Puncture by Jonas Vingegaard. The timing is perfection, but he's still in the peloton, so he's gonna come back to the front so quickly. I am struggling to follow the tempo of the peloton with 16k to go, and I'm gonna drop as we speak, but I can't afford to go faster because I've got barely any yellow bars, so it's riding my own tempo for the entire climb. Honestly, it's not looking good with 10 kilometers to go. I'm in the second peloton. The gap is only a minute right here, but there's 2 riders off the front, including Jonas Vingegaard and Del Toro, but hopefully the second peloton sits up a little bit and I can come back, and that is happening, but I've got barely any yellow, so this is not looking good. And finally, after like 6 attacks, Jonas has a gap of 16 seconds and 2 minutes on the peloton behind that, where we are just off the back right now, but I'm trying to pass people with whatever energy I have left. Remember when I said the Etna stage in real life is usually a group sprint in the peloton? Well, Jonas is taking minutes today. 2 minutes on Isaac Del Toro and 4 to 5 minutes on Lorenzo Finn, who still has 2 kilometers to go, so ay. Lorenzo Finn in the last 2 meters and finishing on 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Ouch. I think it's fair to say that is not the mountain stage I was hoping for. 21st place in the end, and I gotta say, I tried my absolute best to save energy for the final climb, and I was halfway my yellow already when the climb started, so that did not go very well. In 17th place in GC right now on about 6 minutes of Jonas, but this allows us to go in the breakaway in coming stages, so it's not the end of the world. But stage 5, despite having a mountain in the middle, is not gonna be a breakaway stage. This will be a sprint with Milan as the favorite, and I'm just hoping for a slightly better sprint than our stage 3 with Kopecky. Okido, starting with a +1 on Kopecky, so 76 sprint stat on this one. That is nice. About to enter the last 10 kilometers. They look to be pretty straightforward. We've got our sprint train up and running. Let's take a look. Feldhofer trying to move to the front, but struggling a little bit, but we are in position. There we go. Lorenzo Finn leading out at 5 kilometers to go. Kopecky with the energy gel Omerzel in the wheel of Finn ready to go pretty soon. Right now, there goes Omerzel, Serrano in the wheel for the lead out, so we're looking pretty solid, but Quickstep is so far ahead, so I'm a little bit scared. Omerzel can launch, Serrano's ready to launch right now, Kopecky in the wheel, we're going early maybe again, I'll wait longer, there goes Kopecky on the left side, but we are simply way too far back, so that's a bit of a disaster again. Our sprints in this race have not gone very well. Like, in real life, these would be realistic results for Matthias Kopecky, but on PCM, I know I can do better than 13th place. Anyway, the winner was Tim Merlier. But actually, before we go to stage 6, it's time to take a look at transfer dossiers once again. And last time, one of the riders we selected was Carlos Rodriguez. But I've noticed that his current salary is 115,000 euros per month. Even if we can sign this guy for 100k, which is less, that's still 1.2 million per year. And of course, keeping in mind that our budget for next season is 2.3 million, Carlos Rodriguez would cost more than half of our budget. We simply can't afford him. So sadly, I need to close my dossier with Carlos Rodriguez and find cheaper riders. And I think this German rider might be a good prospect, Tilman Sarnowski. 22 years old, on the Red Bull Rookies team with 5.5 star potential in sprinting, and already 77 sprint, 78 acceleration, but he's kind of a pure sprinter. But of course, we've got Kubic, we've got Kopecky, we have potentially Manier for next year. Those are versatile sprinters. We need a pure sprinter. So yeah, Mr. Tilman Sarnowski, I'm opening dossiers with you. Maybe I'm signing a bit too many French riders now, but Mathis Grisel with 76 cobble and decent other stats could be a good signing. And also 5.5 star potential at Northern Classics at the age of 21, so he will still grow. Honestly, 3 dossier points, cheap salary, I think it's a must, so there we go. Wait a second, I could do the funniest thing. This man right here, Mateusz Govekar, we've got a bit of a history in this series, so I could get him back. 27 years old, 75 hill stats, 76 flat, most importantly, 74 sprint, so a versatile sprinter. And you might remember, in our first season, he won multiple Vuelta stages. Honestly, I think it's a must, so Mateusz Govekar, you are coming back, my friend. I do think it might be a good idea to try to reunite the brothers of Kopecky, because Tomasz Kopecky is on the market, and he's actually a pretty solid cobble rider. 75 cobble stat, 73 hill stat, but no real sprint. But let's be honest, we don't have money, so these are the type of signings we have to do, so on the list. By the way, I forgot to mention that our current roster without new signings is about 20 riders already. And our shortlist minus Carlos Rodriguez is already 7 riders, so that's 27 in total of the 30 we're allowed to take. And I also want to extend a couple of riders. For example, this man, Javier Serrano, has both won races and been a vital part in lead-out, so he deserves a new contract. Now, I don't know why, but when I type Serrano on the transfer dossier page, he's actually not on the list. So I quite literally can't even open a transfer dossier with him, so I'll have to keep him in mind for the transfer season to renew him then. Next to Serrano, there's 9 other riders also running out of contract with our team, like Yuri Slotau, but I haven't decided yet whether I want to extend them. So I think I'll just keep adding riders to this transfer dossier list, and then when the transfer season comes, I'll decide whether I want and can afford to sign them. Ooh, Paul Marty could be pretty good in the mountains and pretty cheap. 22 years old, 74 mountains, 76 medium mountains, 75 hill. And as you can see on the right, a current salary of 3.5k per month, so affordable. I reckon I should be able to afford that guy, so let's try that. And I'm also fascinated by his teammate Marcel Kamprubi. Like, he's never gonna be the best rider in the world, but 71 cobble stat with 77 stamina and very solid climbing stats. I like him as a domestique for RVV. And let's be honest, that is a rider we can definitely afford to sign, so worth adding to our list. Like, I'm sorry, but look at this guy. 19 years old, Jeff Loos, 77 mountain with 68 medium mountain. How does that even happen? Anyway, with this dossier list, I've got a pretty solid list of cobble riders and sprinters, but I'm kind of lacking in the climbing department. Then again, out of our best 10 climbers in the team, only Tercero is expiring when it comes to his contract. But quite literally, every single climber on the market is unaffordable for me, so that's a problem. If anything, Fernando Tercero, our rider, is the most affordable climber on the market, so maybe I do need to extend him. To be honest, we are paying him the lowest possible salary, so it's kind of a no-brainer. Fernando, I gave you a shit race schedule this year, but please return to the team next year, my friend. Anyway, that's our transfer dossiers for now, with a pretty solid list made up so far. And of course, I'm hoping that when the transfer season comes, I've got enough money to actually sign them. Back to the Giro then, once again with a sprint stage on day 6, Milan is the favorite. Like, outside of stage 1, it's fair to say that this Giro has not been the most successful race for this team, so let's hope Kopecky can have a good sprint here with 75 sprint on the day. In the last 15k, once again lots of sprint trains on the road as the breakaway is getting caught, but I am relatively well positioned. Tim Merlier with a train of 7 riders on the left side of the road. Anyway, I'll focus on my train. 93 on Veldhofer, let's up that to 99 slowly but surely, and we're still well positioned. Ah, come on, Kopecky, don't get blocked, don't get blocked. You're in Narnia. You're in Narnia, my friend. This is not good at all. Erzen is gonna keep on going after Serrano is done, and Kopecky needs to find his way back, and that is happening. 2.5 kilometers to go. Erzen is running out of energy way too quickly, so I'll have to go to 99 on Darder and now launch the sprint. Kopecky in the wheel for the lead up, but we are so far behind. We are so far behind. I should have launched earlier with Darder, and once again a disastrous sprint. Tim Merlier wins, and Kopecky with maybe a top 10? Yes, I think we do. 9th place. I was gonna say that's an improvement, but it looked just as bad. Sprinting really is not going our way at this Giro, but we are up against better sprinters, so it's kind of logical. Anyway, that brings us to stage 7, a medium mountain stage that I think might go to the breakaway. But Pro Cycling Manager does not agree. Jonas Vingegaard is the favorite. Gotta say, I've actually been looking forward to stage 7 here because Lorenzo Finn is now on 6 minutes in GC, so the perfect time to go in the breakaway to hopefully take the stage win and some time back in GC. Oh snap, the weather conditions in this country, in Italy, turned pretty bad today. Finn and Kopecky trying to get to the front together. Let's see if we can get them in the breakaway. Where's Kopecky? He's getting blocked in, but he's getting into the wheel of this Astana rider Conchi, and this way we've got 2 riders in the breakaway. They can relay on, let's say, 85, because I don't want to go too deep from the get-go, and that is 2 riders of ours in the breakaway, so a solid start. The question is, can I get even more riders in this breakaway? I feel like it's possible, so Omerzel and Perikas can go, and the peloton is still pretty chill, so let's try to attack with my entire team instead. There we go, everybody into the breakaway. Is this possible? Honestly, Visma's pretty passive, so I think it is possible. I'm sorry, but look at this. A massive breakaway of 43 riders with my entire team present and 2 minutes 30 on the peloton where they're not exactly pacing, so we're Gucci. On the first climb now, the Passo Colla, 12k at 4%, so not the hardest climb, but it's all about staying in the group and growing the gap to the peloton. It's now 3 minutes 40 and growing, so looking good. Then again, Visma is starting to pace with Affini, so a little bit scary. But hey, the break's 43 riders, so what is Visma gonna do? Over the top of the first climb, we've lost 1 rider from this breakaway, Darder, actually also some other riders, but one of our teammates is what I meant. Still 40 riders in this group, and everybody is recovering in the descent, so that is good. On the second climb now, a bit of a fake news climb with some steep segments and some flat segments, but 28 kilometers in total. At 4%, Jonas Vingegaard is down in the peloton in a small descent, and he's getting up, so I expect Visma Leasebike to stop pacing in the peloton. Yes, indeed, they are waiting with riders right now, so chaos in the peloton. A few K later, and Jonas is back in the peloton, but the gap is up to 6 minutes 30, so that's pretty good, but the break needs to keep pacing, and right now, that seems to be happening by Sharkman, so okay. Our second teammate off the back just before the top of this second climb, Zak Erzen, but still plenty of teammates in this group, so that's good. Gap is about 6 minutes now. Gotta make sure we don't drop during the sprint for KWM points. Try and get my team in this group over the top, and that is nicely working. Perfection. Second climb done. Just about halfway the race, 2 climbs to come, and I'm noticing that the gap to the peloton seems to expand, mostly in the valley. What a tempo in this breakaway, by the way. I'm simply trying to hold on with my train. I've got Kopecky on the brink of destruction. All the rest of my team still with energy though, so we're looking really good with a gap of, what? It's 11 minutes to the peloton. That is gigantic. We just made it over the second last climb, the steepest one, and Finn is actually not the closest rider in GC in this breakaway. It is Lutsenko on 3 minutes and 55 seconds, so that is something we need to keep in mind. Also, we've only got 3 riders left. The rest of our squad is dropped. Serrano, Veldhofer, and Kopecky, all 3 off the back. But hey, with a single climb left and 11 minutes on the peloton, it's pretty clear that Lorenzo Finn, Halland Johannessen, and Lutsenko will probably be the podium of GC after this stage. Here we go, on to the final climb, 9 kilometers at 5%. Yes, I am pushing in this breakaway because 29 riders, I need to drop as many as possible. And actually, other riders are attacking, but I'm just gonna do my own tempo to get back to their wheel. 4 kilometers to the top, so we do have the yellow bar to close them down. There we go, into the final kilometer, and I'm gonna pause it for a second here. What if I try to attack with Finn right now? I know it's 26 kilometers to go, but I'm feeling kinda good, so let's give it a try. Perikas is off the wheel right now. Can I have him protect me and focus on effort cursoring forward? Is that a possibility? I'll probably drop him. I will be dropping him, so we might as well go all out and try to get away like this in the last 25 kilometers, but now is a descent, and it's not exactly the steepest descent, so gotta find a way to recover. Finn's gap on the group behind is 28 seconds, where they are trying to fly towards us, but I'm not overly confident in this move. This is scary because Finn is really not recovering much. And actually, we are getting caught as we speak, so let's sit up in this group of 11 riders right now. Perikas and Omerzel are actually getting dropped. Ay. This is bad for my complete play here. Let's try and relay in, hopefully get back to the front. I'm okay with bringing back these guys. And now on this small climb, we are kind of getting dropped by 5 attackers, including Halland Johannesson, so it's not looking too fantastic right now. Did I bottle it by attacking so early? I probably did. Looks like at the front, Schachman and Velasco are riding away from the group of Johannesson right now with 3.5 kilometers to go. Finn is in the third group right now on the road, trying to save his energy for the sprint. Perikas and Omerzel are basically done for, so we gotta go with Finn as much as possible. Last 1.5 kilometers, let's try and go on 85. We see that Velasco is gonna be winning the stage. Not that big of a deal. I would have wanted it to be me though. Nonetheless, we are taking loads of time on GC, so that's something, but I think I kind of bottled the last 15-20 kilometers a bit. And as you can see, Lorenzo Finn is getting dropped by his 2 companions here and will be finishing, I think, 9th on the stage. A fantastic team performance this stage, but the final was a bit of a mess. But there's one good thing, Jonas Vingegaard and the peloton is finishing on 13 minutes of the winner and 11 minutes of Lorenzo Finn, so we're ahead of Vingegaard now by like 6-7 minutes in GC. What a crazy stage that was. Like, I think it's pretty obvious that our one big mistake was attacking with Finn on that final big climb. If we don't do that, I think we compete for the stage win here. Oh snap, we are not on the podium of GC. Florian Stork, Frigo and Vere, also from the breakaway, are ahead of us, but we are on 2 minutes 20 right now, which is pretty good because it's 5 minutes and 12 seconds ahead of Jonas. And actually, this breakaway also puts us in a prime position for the white jersey, 7 minutes on Del Toro. If I'm being realistic, I don't think I can stay ahead of Jonas or Isaac in GC or the white jersey, but it's better to be ahead than behind. Anyway, we started today's video with a beautiful stage win on day 1, but I'm not sure what to call the final stage. A masterclass for GC or a disaster class for the stage win. That said, next episode will start with a versatile sprint and then blockhouse. And I do expect to lose quite a bit of time in GC on this stage. After that, 2 versatile sprints and 2 flat sprints, with a medium mountain finish on day 14. And I gotta say, I can't wait to get started, but that is for next time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.